No, I really wasn't going to do this. I had a video planned out I wanted to take a look at with the S22 Ultra, but I was kind of bullied into this by Juan Bagnell. So let's talk about it. What's going on, your friend TheBionicScoop? And bullied is a bit of a stretch. So Juan and I talk often about photography, especially mobile photography. Being myself, photographer at heart, and Juan, who's always had great deep dives into photography, and especially mobile photography. I shared a bunch of shots that I took on pro mode on the S22 Ultra with him, and we both came across something, and I even did a little more research into it and did another deep dive going out shooting with it. When you strip back the onion layers just a pinch, you peel back those layers, you discover those telephoto and super telephoto sensors are pretty small, a little bit underpowered, and especially in low light situations, really struggle in pro mode. So let's take a look at a couple shots. We're gonna give you when Samsung's auto is working really good and it's filling in all the gaps, and then you're gonna see, well, let's just look. All right, let's kick this out by saying first and foremost that in ample light, daylight situations, even though it is this undersized sensor, it performs very well. You get some awesome detail for what it is. Also, I'm not knocking the system as a whole. Even in low light situations with the other larger sensors, you can pull some pretty good photos with not a lot of light from multiple light sources. And also, I mean, let's be real, 100 times zoom actually is kind of cool. It's not pretty, but it's pretty cool. But as we starting to zoom, that's when it gets a little messy. Literally gets messy. It's a noisy mess. Regardless of the ISO in the lower light situations with that smaller telephoto sensor, it is a noisy mess. Colors can become extremely flat because it's so noisy, and the processing has to compensate somehow. So to reduce the noise, you lose color and fidelity and depth in this because, well, it's a little baby sensor. Does it get you close? Absolutely, it does its job. It gets you real close with telephoto, but you lose a lot when you do that. Nothing wrong with it because, well, we already know it's a small sensor, but the problem is there isn't enough detail on its own to look good. So I want to make one really big point clear here. This is an attack on Samsung and their camera system. It's an overall arching problem amongst all small sensored cameras. It can only process so much information. Now we take that sensor, we make it smaller and bring more information and a larger image onto a smaller sensor, and we expect these cameras and expect these phones to process that. I don't care what version of any Snapdragon or 8 Gen 1 or A15 you got in there, there's just not enough information to maintain a high fidelity image on such a small sensor. It's physics. You just can't. Well, I guess that's it. So again, not a knock on Samsung. It's a knock on mobile photography in general. Baby sensors, a lot of information. You're just not going to get a good image. And it is amazing what these companies are doing with these small sensors, even though they're getting bigger with like your JN1 and other sensors. Still not big enough to produce the images everyone wants them to. And once we kind of accept and realize that, we'll understand that mobile photography is good. It's very powerful, but don't expect it to outperform some of these larger DSLRs, larger mirrorless cameras with their beefy, meaty sensors and all this processing power. But for on-the-go stuff, and as you're going along and taking pictures of your life, your family, and all such, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong in auto, because between the sensors and the software that is designed to switch between them, you're going to get some really good images for the size sensors you're dealing with. That's all I got. Bye, skip out. Take care.